Also for this.
Doktora, we are live now po. We are now live po.
Hello everyone and magandang hapon po. Thank you for joining us. I am Dr. Ana York Bondoc and today I will talk to you po about my Bakuna story. Please follow us po on YouTube, also Dr. Ana York. And welcome po kayo na mailagay po yung inyong mga questions. Sasagutin po natin after my story. So ako po, I'm an internist, I'm a pulmonary specialist and an ICU specialist. And I'm also a 3-term congresswoman and the wife of Mayor J. And the more importantly po, I'm also a mom of an 8-year-old. And the super most important, ako po ay nakatapos na po ng 2 bakuna, the first and the second dose of SIINOVAC. At ikikwento ko po sa inyo kung ano po ang nangyari sa akin. You are very welcome to ask po later kung ano po yung mga tanong nila regarding these 2 vaccines. So tara po, could you please put SIINOVAC, dose 1 and dose 2 para makita po ng mga viewers. Baka tinatanong po nila kung ano po ang aking natanggap. The answer is SIINOVAC. Okay? So siguro, before we start, ano nga ba ang SIINOVAC? SIINOVAC po is the Chinese manufactured vaccine na dinonate po ng bansang China sa Pilipinas. And I am one of the first na nakatanggap po nito as a medical frontliner. So lagay po natin SIINOVAC, SINOVAC, SIINOVAC. Okay? So eto po, binigay po sa akin the first dose last March 13, 2021, before the surge. So ang ganda nga po ng timing ko. So bakit po ako nagpabakuna? Well, first and foremost, di ko naman ho itatago sa inyo na syempre, bilang tao din po, I was also concerned about vaccines. Safe ba sila? Are they working well? And kami po, bilang doktor, I read naman po all the information. I'm also well informed. I am also a pulmonary specialist. So alam ko rin po kung ano po yung mga side effects at dapat pong bantayan sa pagbakuna po ng SIINOVAC. Pero when the first vaccines came, nagulat din po ako na SIINOVAC ang unang dumating sa Pilipinas. But as I read more about it, nagandahan po ako dun sa nabasa ko and nagkaroon po ako ng lakas ng loob. So ikwento ko po sa inyo. Well, first and foremost, before dumating po yung SIINOVAC dito, marami po ako mga kaklasing doktor who also got vaccinated na po with, pero Pfizer po and Moderna in the US. Nevertheless, nagkaroon din po ako ng lakas ng loob because I saw people that I know and I trusted receiving vaccines kahit different po in the US. Ngayon, pagdating po ng SIINOVAC dito sa Pilipinas, the first persons who were vaccinated by SIINOVAC, I know them also personally. Ayan po, SIINOVAC on the screen. I know them also po personally. Yun po si Dr. Gap Legaspi, the director po of PGH, and si Dr. Edsel Salvana, who is also a fellow UP graduate. So, after that po, parang, and then the third is Dr. Domingo, kaibigan din po. So, nakita ko po yung mga classmates ko and people that I know personally who were vaccinated with SIINOVAC at pinaglagay na po nila that they feel fine, they're okay. Nung nabasa ko rin po na what is SIINOVAC, it is an inactivated vaccine. Old technology po siya since 1940. It has been proven that the technology has been safe for the last 50 plus years. It was first used po in polio, that technique. So parang, ang tagal na ng polio, no? Nawala naman si polio. So that also gave me po the confidence to try the inactivated po vaccine from China. So tinawagan po ako, sabi na, one of my friends called me and said, Ana, you are eligible for SIINOVAC as a frontliner and as a doctor. So dali-dali po akong pumunta to the Jose B Lingad Memorial Medical Center located po in San Fernando, Pampanga. Yung kwento po ng Jose B Lingad, it is 50 years old this year. And I'm happy to announce to you na ako po ang gumawa ng batas expanding the Jose B Lingad from 250 beds to 500 beds. So talaga kung lumaki yung Lingad within the last 5 years thanks to a bill po na ako po yung principal author. And then last year po, yung Lingad was also receiving additional funding and a new bill po, this time from Congressman Rimpi, making Lingad po from 500 beds to 1,000 beds. So actually, 1,000 bed capacity na rin po ang JBL sa atin pong Central Luzon and Pampanga. So we are very fortunate. Ito po ang PGH of Central Luzon. So tinawagan po ako doon and I went there. Ang dami nga pong mga healthcare workers who were also receiving the vaccine. I have to tell you na napakaganda po ng proseso nila. Nag-register po ako. They asked me my history, kung ako po ba ay any comorbidities. Pakilagay lang po, comorbidity. Hindi po ako hypertensive, hindi po ako diabetic, wala po akong mga maintenance meds, kahit matanda na ako. Okay? And I also have no allergies. So, nung narinig po nila yon, they said, very good, you are cleared. And then, nanood din po ako ng short presentation on what to expect. After that po, they took my blood pressure, they took my oxygen sa aking finger, they took my BP, they took my temperature. Okay naman po lahat. And I was cleared to be vaccinated. Pagkatapos po na aking bakuna, promise hindi masakit, okay? Pagkatapos po na aking bakuna, ako po ay naghintay ng 15 minutes for any allergic reactions, upon which wala naman po, and then I went home. The next day po, nakatulog po ako ng maigi, wala po akong naramdaman na side effect po from SIINOVAC. Please put the word side effect on the screen, wala po akong naramdaman talagang side effects. And I think that is also known sa SIINOVAC, minimal po talaga side effects na SIINOVAC. Okay? So, hindi po ako linagnat, hindi po bumigat yung kamay ko. Nagtrabaho po ako immediately the next day, March 14. Wala po talaga akong naramdaman. I did not take any medications. And lumakas po yung loob ko kasi kahit na wala pa akong second dose, kahit first dose pa lang, talagang nagkaroon na po ako ng protection and I really, really felt so much better. Yung mental health ko po talaga natulungan ng pagbabakuna ng first dose. And then, nagkaroon pa ho ng surge. So, mas lalo hong gumanda yung feeling ko na may surge, pero kahit papano, even if I am not completely vaccinated, I have at least 1 dose of SIINOVAC na nasa katawan ko na po. And my body is producing antibodies na po versus COVID. So, nung nabakunahan ako ng SIINOVAC, sinabi po sa akin na medyo hesitant din po yung mga frontliners. In fact, they were very worried na baka nga ako hindi po maubos yung SIINOVAC sa ospital. But when I came back, which is exactly 1 month after, so yung second dose ko po is April 9, bumalik po ako, sinabi po sa akin ng director of the hospital, who is Dr. Fons Danak, Chief of Clinics, and Dr. Montserrat Chichoco, who is the director of the hospital. Ang kwento po nila sa akin, ay doktora, when you first got SIINOVAC, ayaw po ng mga tao. Pero, including employees pero nung nagka-surge na po, siguro marami na rin kinabahan, and then marami rin hong nagkaroon ng kwento from their friends, from people that they trust, from their co-workers, na okay lang pong magpabakuna. And according to the director of the hospital and the chief of clinics, ngayon ang dami pong naghahanap ngayon ng bakuna. So it was very good from
Sorry po, Doktora.
Okay. Ganyan talaga. Kung minsan nagkakaroon po ng cross. Anyway, from dati pong hesitant yung mga employees, sila na po ngayon na naghahanap, and that is good. And so many people pa po, not only employees, but other seniors, yung A2, yung A3, naghahanap din po ng SIINOVAC and other vaccines po from the Jose B Lingad Memorial Medical Center. So the second time when I went, that was April 9, alam ko na ho kung anong gagawin. Nagbigay pa rin ako. First time, nagbigay ako ng balot. Second time, hinahanapan ako ng balot ulit. Buti nila, nagdala ko. So, balot ni Dr. J. Kung gusto niyo po ng immunity at lakas, balot ni Dr. J. Binigay ko po dun sa mga nag-interview sa akin. Again, I went through the same process, registration, interview, check-up po, blood pressure, oxygen on your finger, temperature. Tinanong na naman po ako kung may naramdaman po ako. Again, wala. Nabakunahan po ako the second time. And then 15 minutes observation na naman po. Actually, chika lang yon with the other persons na nandun. But basically, they just want to see po kung ano po ang maging reaction nyo. After that, chinek up na naman po ako. Very fast, very efficient, very thorough. Wala po ako masabi. And I left on April 9. Today is already more than 5 days na po since nabakunahan ako. Again, no side effects po from Sinovac. And this time, I will be protected po 90% from death, from serious COVID, and from hospitalization 22 days after my second vaccine. So that's April 9 plus 22 days. By mid-May po, okay na po ang inyong doktora. So, right now, what happened? Ang dami na pong nagpabakuna ng mga kamag-anak ko, mga seniors. I have some friends, relatives na not yet senior but with comorbids, yung hypertension, diabetes, kidney, ganun po, cancer. Kanina ho, tumatawag yung pamangkin kong, yung pinsan ko po who has breast cancer, asking kung gusto niya, kung pwede daw ba siyang magpabakuna. Sabi ko, yes, pwede. So basically, marami po talagang they're getting curious, they want to be vaccinated already. Dahil nakita po nila na number one, di po biro ang COVID. Marami pong nagkasakit and so many more died na tong surge na to. And then number two po, nakita po nila na the people who got vaccinated were feeling okay. So, and number three, nakita po nila na talagang may worldwide shortage po ng bakuna. So, marami na rin pong nagpapalista. So, I'm happy to tell you my bakuna story. I'm happy to share with you po kung bakit ako nagpabakuna, kung paano po ako nagkalakas loob na magpabakuna, at kung ano po yung aking prosesong dinaanan, at kung ano po ang aking side effects na nararamdaman. So my advice to you is, COVID is real. Nagkaroon lang po ng surge. It's possible ho na people that you know ang naapektuhan po. The only way po talaga dito is to be vaccinated kasi otherwise po we'll just be on repeating, paulit-ulit na lang ho magkakaroon ng ECQ, then okay na naman, then lalabas na naman yung mga tao, then magkaka-surge. So kumbaga paulit-ulit Unless we do something different, we will just keep on repeating po this process. So ako po, I would have to admit to you, ninervous din po ako, but I am here. Two times na po ako nabakunahan and I feel much better. For those asking, yes, nabakunahan po si Mayor J ng AstraZeneca yesterday bilang frontliner doctor din po. And nilagnat po siya but he is now feeling well. Back to work. So sa inyo po lahat, my best advice to you is, first of all, you have to stay safe kasi kahit nabakunahan po kayo, there is still the possibility that you might get or transmit COVID. Kasi po ang bakuna is only to be safe from death and serious COVID. Pinag-aaralan pa po yung transmissibility. So even if you were vaccinated, you still have to wear a mask and a face shield. And kung nabakunahan po kayo, please spread the word kasi alam mo, people trust you. Bilang doktor, bilang nurse, bilang frontliner, bilang nakakatanda sa pamilya, may impluensya po kayo. And thirdly, kung meron po kayong mga na-encounter na ayaw magpabakuna, huwag niyong awayin po. Just show to them that you're okay, that you had a good experience, that you feel so much better ngayon. And sila rin po ay may impluensya po to become vaccinated through you. So sa inyo po lahat, that's my bakuna story. And thank you po for listening to my story. Please share yung inyo sa baba. Please put any questions that you might have regarding po mga developments sa vaccine. And I'm happy po to answer them. So maraming salamat po. Magpabakuna po tayong lahat.
Okay, from one of our viewers, Miss Kat, what happened po sa Astra?
That's a very good question actually. Well, AstraZeneca, what is AstraZeneca? At wala pa akong webinar or I don't have a talk yet on AstraZeneca. Maybe I should kasi meron lang ako on Sinovac. AstraZeneca po was developed in the United Kingdom. It's a collaboration between the Oxford University po and AstraZeneca private company. So more than 20 million po. In fact, almost the entire United Kingdom was vaccinated po with AstraZeneca. It's a low cost vaccine. Ano po siya? It's also using an old technology. Portions of the spike protein were put on a virus vector. Ang hirap intindihin eh. But basically, may pumasok po sa katawan nyo carrying the spike protein. The spike protein was then grown. Parang dun ho nagbonding yung dun ho yung antibody na na-form based on the spike protein po that was injected into you. Hindi po buong COVID, so no live. It's only the spike protein, one of the spikes. So dun po siya gumawa po ng antibody based on the spikes po of COVID that were injected po into the body. What happened to Astra? It was initially licensed po in the Philippines, mostly to be used for seniors. Kasi po, as I explained to you before, SIINOVAC was not yet licensed for seniors. Kasi most of the data po of SIINOVAC was in younger persons. And I might have told you po that it was given in China for seniors, but I made a mistake. Ang SIINOVAC po was given in Turkey and Indonesia to the seniors. Sa China po, more to the working population. So, ang Astra po was designed talaga and received by the Philippines from the COVAX. Ano ba yung COVAX? Yun po yung World Health Organization. They donated AstraZeneca vaccines to the Philippines. It arrived po March also, was vaccinated and initially supposed to be used for seniors. And yung mga may comorbidities po were advised to use AstraZeneca. Ngayon, since Astra has been vaccinated to almost 20 million people po in the world, napansin nila, and there was a study that some people, how many exactly? I think it's around 182 out of 20 million. So, out of 20 million, 182 po yung nagkaroon po. What is it? It's called clotting. Nagkakaroon po ng small clots and they're the platelets po of the persons, which is in turn, nagkaroon po ng pagbababa ng platelets po ng tao, kasama po yung clots. Ano po yung clots? Clots po are bumuong dugo. Yun, nabuo po yung mga dugo and some of them shot off towards the brain po and they binara po yung daloy po ng dugo. So that's out of 20 million, 182 persons po ang documented. So pinag-aralan po sa Europe, that 79, yung 79 po pinag-aralan, most of them were female and young. And I think 3 died, something like that. Opo. Pero I would like to say, that number 1, okay, sa dinami-dami po ng babakunahan talaga sa mundo, which is almost 20 million na nga po yung na-Astra, meron po talagang side effects na rare na lalabas. So this is now labeled as a rare side effect. Though actually, sa totoo lang, people get clots all the time, okay? Nakaklat po talaga yung mga tao with or without Astra. And in fact, the rate of clotting po of Astra is lower than the rate of normal clots. Kasi may nagka-clot naman ho kahit walang bakuni. So, the rate of Astra is really much lower than a normal rate of clotting. Kumbaga may mamamatay talaga ho ng blood clot talaga. Kaya kami na-stroke those are a form of blood clots. But, dahil po talaga sa sobrang pag-iingat, talagang linabel na lang po ito na rare side effect. Okay? So, it happens mostly in females and it happens to younger persons. Okay? So, ano yung implications nito? The WHO has decided po na based on the risk and benefit, kasi po yung risk of dying of COVID is really high. If you are 60 years old, the risk po is 10% and above. So, out of 10 lolas, 1 po ang mamamatay na may COVID, okay? So, they have decided, sabi po ng WHO, na there is more risk. There is more risk of COVID than risk of clotting or any side effect. So, tuloy pa rin po yung pagbabakuna. In the Philippines, pinag-aaralan lang po, nag-pause lang po. Okay? Kasi the first dosing of AstraZeneca is is March and the next dosing is May. So may time pa po tayo to study AstraZeneca. Right now, they are recommending AstraZeneca for the older and SIINOVAC for the younger. But right now po, pinag-aaralan pa po. Is this a serious problem? Ano ba ang risk po ng clotting? Well, the risk of clotting is 1 to 4 in 1 million. Okay? Or 1 in 1 million, sabihin na natin. The risk po na kayo po ay tamaan ng kidlat is 1 in 500,000. So, mas mataas po talaga yung risk po talaga na kayo po ay tamaan ng kidlat. Number 2, mas mataas din po yung risk ng COVID kasi ang COVID ho talagang kumakalat ngayon. So, should we be concerned? Oo naman, I wouldn't say hindi, no? But definitely po, sa akin, would I recommend AstraZeneca? My answer is yes. Maybe for a younger person, I'd recommend Sinovac. But for an older person, definitely okay na okay pa rin si Astra. And the risk po talaga is low. Super low. Okay? So, yun po yun.
Miss Kat, next question please. Okay, question from one of our viewer. Na-inject kasi ako nung first dose sa Angono last month. This month, may vaccination yung Quezon City sa subdivision sa Ugong Norte. Bala kukunin yung second injection sa QC. Bale, first time vaccine ito for QC residents. Meron sila AstraZeneca.
Ma'am, this question is not complete kasi we don't know what the first dose. Ganito if you got Sinovac, 1 month po yung for example, ako, March 13, second dose is April 9. So, there is a gap of 1 month. I don't know if AstraZeneca naman ang nakuha nyo, the gap is 3 months. So, March to sometime end of May po. Okay? So, hindi ko po alam, if you got AstraZeneca, if you got Sinovac, you should get Sinovac. If you got Astra, you should get Astra. Okay? Hindi po pwedeng paghalo yon. As of now, actually, there are studies looking into kung paghahaluin po. But as of now, it is still recommended that you get the same dose. So, please don't make singit po sa Quezon City. Kasi gugulo yung mga records nyo. Kung saan po kayo nagpabakuna the first time, doon na rin po kayo magpabakuna the second time. Kasi hahanapin po kayo. And this is actually very interesting, Reina and Kat, kasi the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is 1 dose. Okay? At napakalaking bagay ito. In fact, sa US, gagamitin daw yung Johnson & Johnson sa homeless. Baka magulat kayo, bakit? Cheap ba yung Johnson & Johnson, ba't sa homeless? Hindi, kasi because if it's only 1 dose, pag umuwi na yung tao homeless, saan mo hanapin? Wala naman siya cellphone. So, the most important, 1 bakuna, uwi, tapos na. So, that is the beauty po of Johnson & Johnson. Sana po talagang we have Johnson & Johnson also dito kasi 1 dose lang po yon. Ang hirap talagang hanapin yung pangalawang tao. It is really very difficult to find the second person po. So, yun po yun. So, my advice to you is get your dose po where the first dose was given, dun po yung second. And number 2, gugulo po yung issue paglilipat po kayo. Okay? So, yun po yung advice ko sa inyo is to stay where you're supposed to and get the proper dose in there. Okay? Kaya lang, di ba, Reina, what if people traveled? Mahirap talaga itong 3-month interval. Sana seryosohin na lang po natin. Kailangan po natin seryosohin ito. Okay?
Dito masusubukan ng tibay ng pagsunod ng mga tao, doktora.
Naku po, Diyos ko da. Ikaw, Reina, sa katataya.
Ako, mananahimik ako ng 3 months. Kung nakayanan kong manahimik ng 1 year, bakit hindi pa ng 3 months? Diba? Kaso kasi, may mentality tayong mga Pilipino or mga tao na kahit naturo ka na ng isang beses, maligalig
na. Ay, naku, lalabas na.
Maligalig, doktora. Hindi lang lalabas. Maligalig. Tipong, hindi na ako pwedeng mahawaan dahil may first dose na ako. Ganon ang mentality nila. So,
actually, Reina, you are 100 or even 200% correct. Kasi may issue nga na nagka-surge daw dahil narinig ng mga taong dumating na yung bakuna kahit hindi man sila yung nabakunahan. Feeling nila wala nang problema, go na. Mabuti nga sinabi mo, first dose, maligalig. Yung iba dumating lang yung bakuna sa Pilipinas, maligalig na kasi feeling nila wala nang problema. It's just a matter of time. Tatawagin na rin sila, so might as well go na.
Ito
May issue
pa,
na, one of the reasons kung ba't daw nagka-surge.
ito pa pinaka-sad news, doktora. Ang dami ngayon, dahil I'm not sure kung kung saan galing yung nagsisirculate na question and answer or FAQ na pag ako ba nabakunahan, ibig sabihin ba hindi na ako magkaka-COVID? Ang sagot is, no, you can still acquire COVID. So, may nagsisirculate na gano'n na balita, which has been naging basis ng mga tao na bakit ako magpapabakuna? Hindi naman yan totoo pala. So, ayan.
Bakit? Gusto mong mamatay?
Yun na nga. Yun na nga.
Gusto mo ICU? Kaya mong bayaran yung ICU? Ako hindi.
Joke man to, pero this is my serious argument. It's very funny, but this is my serious argument.
Sige, I wanna hear this.
Saan mo gustong mamatay? Sa blood clot or sa sa pneumonia na makikipaglaban ka, i-intubate ka, mamamatay ka na ang laki-laki ng bills ng iiwanan mo sa pamilya mo. I-cremate ka na lang, blood clot, na wala kang wala, mamamatay ka lang.
Wala kang blood clot. That's what I tell you. Well, hindi naman sa pumipili tayo how to die.
Yes.
At saka, it's, people get clots this is how people die of strokes. So, meron talagang namamatay with or without bakuna. Kaya lang, talagang maingat lang sila. Kaya nire-record nila lahat yun.
And ito namang mga tao na to, porket ni-record, akala, 10 na yung namatay. Ilan na ba yung nabakunahan? Ang tanong ko. Hindi
Million.
po.
So,
yes.
talagang sabi nga nila, ito pa, may nagsabi pa, the risk of blood clot from the vaccine is 1 in 1 million. So that's equal to, halimbawa daw may nakita ka, then hindi mo kilala, tapos pahuhulaan mo yung last 5 numbers ng kanyang cellphone. Pag nahulaan mo yun yung risk na yun. So pag nahulaan mo yung cellphone number na hindi mo kilala, na 5 numbers, huwag ka na magpabakuna. Yun.
Exactly.
Very rare. Nobody can do that naman eh.
Tama po, doktora. Tama po. Very cynical yung pinropose kong argument or yung nilagay ko sa table na argument. But at the end of the day, kung papipiliin ka kung paano mo gustong mamatay, 'di ba? Kasi doon naman din tayo lahat pupunta. 'Di ba, doktora?
True.
Napaka-practical thinking lang naman. Tsaka yung problema po sa mga side effect, long-term effect, harapin natin yung pagka nandiyan na. Ngayon, ang kalaban natin na known, is yung COVID. I'm just sympathizing with everybody na sinasabi nila na hindi totoo yung COVID. Nakaka-insulto sa mga healthcare workers. Sa totoo lang po, nakaka-insulto po siya.
No, okay. It's real, okay, guys. It's real. Kasi I know lots of people who died of COVID already, not a joke.
Yes, okay. Good morning po, Doktora. Ask ko po sana, alarming ba si South African variant? Ano po bang pagkakaiba nila ni UK variant? Salamat po.
Well, the variants are named according to where they were discovered, okay? The UK was discovered in the UK and the South African was first discovered in South Africa. Iba't iba po yung kanilang mutation. What is the meaning of that? Yung kanila pong genetic code was changed in various, not the same code, different codes po were changed. So that's why they mutated at different portions of their DNA. Okay? Kaya iba yung mutation ng British, iba yung mutation ng South African. They are both different. They are similar kasi they have a similar parent. Nako mo yun, they came from the COVID, the original COVID. Pero iba yung nila, iba yung pagkapalit ng kanilang genetic code. But they are both much more nakakahawa. Much more nakakahawa than the regular COVID. So worrisome po yan. The British version was termed to be more deadly. In fact, there is a paper that shows na it is 55% more deadly than the regular COVID. Yung sa South Africa naman, I mean, I haven't read anything na mas deadly siya, but definitely much, much more nakakahawa. So they are both very concerning variants. And ang balita po, the surge in Europe was caused by the British variant or the UK variant. Okay? So both of them are worrisome. Both of them are unfortunately spreading po ngayon sa Pilipinas at may theory po na kaya nga 'di ba dati pag meron naman na COVID isa lang o dalawa sa bahay but biglang 5 na. Okay? Or 10 na. So ang theory po noon is baka variants na po 'yon due to the extreme transmissibility. Sobra nang nakakahawa compared to dati. Plus, kaya rin tayo nagulat, Reyna, kasi people used to be eating together naman before. Wala namang nangahawa. Kaya lang, as more and more people get positive, mas malaki yung chance na may makakasama ka talagang positive habang kumakain. And then, kung positive pa siya ng UK or South African variant, then kakalat yun sa inyo. Okay? So yun po, both are variants and they're not bad yun. Yun.
Diba nga, doktora, sinasabi nga po nila, yung virus, inaaral na tayo. Tayo, nag-aaway-away pa kung totoo ang virus.
Nakuha ka, wag na, okay? Marami nang nalibing na kakilala ko, totoo yun.
Yes po. Next question from Mr. Ronel Bordalio. Regarding SIINOVAC, how long po yung efficacy ng vaccine to our body?
Sir, this is a beautiful question and one that has been addressed by numerous experts. Ako po, I also read, I'm not an expert, but siguro I'm an expert sa barangay, kaya alam ko talaga yung dapat tanongin at saka kung paano i-explain. Kasi talagang umiikot po ako doon, plus I'm a pulmonologist. But unfortunately, eto pong tanong niyong ito, nobody can answer that question. Kasi po, bagong-bago lang po talaga ito. How long it will be have efficacy po sa katawan natin, we do not know. Pinag-aaralan pa po ito. And there will be more data. Ang maganda naman, Arena, we do not have long-term data. Kasi nga bago pa lang. But definitely, sa dami naman ng nabakunahan, we have kasi ganito normally, when people have trials, ganon, nababakunahan lang, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, marami na yung 5,000 Okay? Ngayon, because it became really, worldwide kasi nga pandemic, biglang 20 million, ganon. Nung unang, before, it really takes time to have a clinical trial, to find the patients, to find Ngayon, biglaan ang dami natin binakunahan. So, it's like, ang dami nating datos na meron. Yun po yun. Pero yung matagal na datos, wala pa po. But what I can tell you po is SIINOVAC, the technology of SIINOVAC is really, really, really old. As in old. As in the oldest, okay? Kulang na lang na bakunahan ka na ng talagang COVID na hindi patay. Pero ito na yung second oldest, okay? So, all inactivated vaccines, pinag-aralan na po. Number one of this is polio. And may track record po siya na safety. Okay? Pero yung efficacy, it will remain to be seen at pinag-aaralan pa po.
From Mr. Henry Oliquino, hi po, Dr. Ana. After ma-vaccine po, is it just right po ba I'll be taking biogesic just to prevent a headache, side effect, or slight na lagnat? Kumbaga po, unahan ka na ng medication para hindi na po ako lagnatin. After having a vaccine, thanks po, Dr. Ana.
Sir, it's okay to take paracetamol after you get vaccinated. Sa mga kids po, binibigyan sila ng paracetamol for kids sometimes para lang maunahan na po yung lagnat or kung malalagnatin. Yung husband ko po took paracetamol, linagnat pa rin ho siya. Actually, sabi po nila, studies have shown that most of the side effects happen in the younger age group. So, yung husband ko po was very happy when I told him that kasi feeling niya bata pa siya. Kasi nilagnat siya sa AstraZeneca. Unfortunately, yours truly walang naramdaman. So the sad news is, Reyna, baka yung katawan ko matanda na. Pero yung utak ko bata pa.
Next question po. From Mr. Ronel Bordalio, Dr. Ana, after po magpa-vaccine ng Sinovac, ilang years po tumatagal yung bisa at protection na
knows.
sa ating katawan?
No one knows the answer to that. Remains to be seen nga po. I cannot tell you. No one knows. We might have to have booster shots. Marami yung bakunang may booster ha. Tetanus every 10 years. O rabies every time na kinagat ka ng aso, meron yan. Measles up to the age of 6. So it's quite common po to have booster shots. And tetanus, every time po na kayo po, for example, matagal na po kayong hindi na booster shot ng tetanus, biglang naputukan ho kayo ng firecracker, you will need to have a booster shot on the spot.
From Mr. Raymond.
What is a booster shot? Repeat vaccination po yun para tumaas po uli yung antibody nyo. And I would like to say, flu yearly yan.
From Mr. Raymond Alan Sese, thank you for sharing your story, Dr. Ana. For sure, I will share your video sa mga relatives na nag-aalangan. He is our YouTube viewer and subscriber po, Doktora.
Hi guys, please subscribe sa YouTube. Our channel is Dr. Ana York Bondoc. Pwede na ho yung Dr. Ana York, makikita nyo na po. We would really need to have more subscribers para po mas malagana po natin yung ating naituturo at naitutulong. Thank you so much. You know what, Arena, yung sharing your story is so powerful kasi story mo yun eh. People tell me, Doktora, how can I help the pandemic? I'm just a normal person. Nanay lang ako sa bahay. You're not a nanay, okay? You're an influencer in your family. You're not a nanay alone. But what I mean is, may mga kamag-anak ka. There are people who trust you. You are a good person. If you are vaccinated, you are also a brave person. So, ang meaning nun is, you have your own story. And your story is important. Okay? Your story is important. Kaya nga po, I placed my frame there kasi para makita po ng mga tao na bakunado po ako, na naglakas loob ako. And I feel so very happy po that many people tell me na, nininervous nga ako, but I'm trusting you, kaya go na rin. Kasi ako rin, I trusted other people. Hindi naman, I cannot tell you, ako pinakamatapang na tao. Natural lang po yun. But we have to move forward from our fear. Kasi otherwise, we'll be stuck in our house forever.
From Mr. Erwin, good afternoon po, Doktora. I have been following your vaccine explanations and your Bakuna story, and it helped me be convinced about getting inoculated once it gets offered to teachers.
Ma'am, thank you so much, sir. Really, teachers are really one of the most valuable. Kasi kawawa yung mga kids ngayon, hindi kasi nakakabalik sa school. So talagang sa akin, priority group talaga po yung mga teachers. And ako rin ho, if you want to invite me to talk to your school, I can do that. Nagturo na rin po ako ng safety sa mga sa mga DepEds. Feel free po to invite me. Q&A po tayo para mailabas na po natin lahat. Kasi I do believe that teachers are one of the most important persons po talaga dito because the future of our kids po. Thank you for having yung nagkalakas loob kayo na to say that yes, you want to be vaccinated. At saka po pag nabakunahan po yung mga teachers, gawa tayo ng frame na bakunado, DepEd. O, diba?
Yes, mabuhay po ang mga teachers. Kawawa, Doktora, kawawa ang mga bata at mga nanay ng mga bata.
Ay, Diyos ko, ang hirap.
Yes.
Ako nga naging teacher sa bahay eh.
Diba? Okay.
It is difficult. Okay.
Yes. Kaya saludo ako sa mga teachers. How are they doing it? From Ms. Joy Faye, Dr. Ana, good afternoon. Safe po ba to vaccine sa mga mommies na nagpapa-breastfeed? Salamat po.
Ma'am Joy Faye, ito sabihin ko sa inyo there have not been a lot of studies kasi syempre hindi naman sila magre-recruit ng mga breastfeeding moms sa mga clinical trial Pero meron na pong nabakunahan sa Amerika and they have been safe. So my best advice to you po is to talk to your pediatrician, to talk po to yung inyo pong OB-GYN also and discuss po yung issue. Ako, my answer would be yes, but I want it to come from your pediatrician and from your OB-GYN. Okay? But congratulations on being a breastfeeding mom. Ako rin po until the age of 5. Si Reyna, tandem breastfeeder pa yan, ha?
Yes, loud and proud po.
Yun.
Okay. From Miss Maricar Malayaw Silverio. Doktora, tanong ko lang po, papaano po pag last day na sana ng inject sa anti-rabies noong April 10? Pwede pa po ba magpa-inject yung kahit late na ng 5 days?
Mommy, yes. Please go kaagad. And rabies po is not a joke. May namamatay po dyan. If you missed your vaccine, please go at ihahabol po nila yon. Huwag kayong magpabaya po dyan sa bahay. Okay? Very important for you to go and explain the problem and they will let you know po kung ano po dapat yung gawin. Pero don't just stay in your house. Ito rin namin nagtanong, ito naman, halimbawa daw hindi sila nabakunahan ng second dose on the right day, paano daw ba yun? Just like again, wala tayong masyadong datos dito. Pero, if we look at the history of vaccination, ang dami pong na-late. For example, yung anak ko na-late ng measles, Diyos ko, ikot ng ikot. Hindi pa pala na measles vaccine, nagalit nga yung pedya sa akin. Hinabol na lang po. So yes, pwede pong maghabol ng bakuna like the rabies kasi it's better na humabol kaysa sa wala eh. Okay? So kung na-miss nyo po yung second dose ng inyong vaccine, just go immediately and explain the situation and i-advise po nila sa inyo kung ano po yung dapat nyo gawin. But don't just stay at home worried na yun ang nangyayari. Okay, do something about it and go there and explain to them kung ano po ang nangyayari sa inyo, kung how long, and then ano po, i-advise po kayo kung ano po dapat gawin. Same with the rabies. Go to the doctor, ma'am. Go to the ER. Okay?
Okay. Next question from Mr. Fred Manamtam. Doc, may news item na ang China ay pinag-aaralan nila ang combination ng iba't ibang brands ng vaccine dahil sa tingin nila mahina ang immunity ng mga vaccines nila. Since most ng vaccine na binigay sa atin ay SIINOVAC, kailangan po ba natin mabahala? Thanks in advance.
The most important po, no, first of all, sabi po ng Chinese scientist, na misquote siya. Okay, nabasa ko rin yan. But the most important po talaga is we are not really, ang goal po natin now is not the efficacy long term. Ano ba efficacy? Protection na mild, moderate, ganun, transmission, ganun. Our goal right now, the goal is to prevent death, to prevent hospitalization of severe, and to prevent ICU, na ma-ICU po kayo. Yun po yung pinaka-goal po ng bawat bakuna as of the moment. Okay? And right now, SIINOVAC is also 90% po against death. So sa akin, iisipin ko na lang yung efficacy later on. Kung kailangan ko mag-booster shot, sige, mag-booster shot, whatever. Pero ang hinahabol ko ngayon from SIINOVAC is the death, hospitalization, at saka po ICU. Ngayon, yung ibang issues regarding efficacy, I will think about that later on as more data comes out. Pero right now, in terms of death, in terms of ICU, and in terms of serious COVID, 90% din po si SIINOVAC. Okay? Kung meron pa ibang issues, I'll deal with them later kasi buhay pa ako. Kasi kung mamatay na ako ngayon, wala na. Parang ganon, Reyna. Do you get my point? Well, let's talk about kung mahina siya, if we need booster shots, if we need whatever, later on. But at the moment, garantisado po siya sa no death, no ICU, and no serious hospitalization. And for me, okay na yun. And kung may lumalabas pa kung ibang issues out of China, this is very important din po eh. As more issues come out, makaka-decide naman po tayo kung ano po ang dapat nating gawin. Okay? But right now po, that's why I agreed to SIINOVAC kasi talagang yung death po yung iniisip ko. Ayoko pang mamatay. Ay, sorry, regarding the death rates, I would like to add something. Can you flash the question, Doktora, please explain the death rates of COVID right now. Okay? Kasi may nagtanong din po sa akin, death rate po ng COVID. Okay? Normally, Reina, I would say the death rate is 2%. But the number, which is out of 100 persons po, 2 will die. Okay? I would like to explain that death rate kasi hindi masyadong malinaw eh. Kasi kung batang-bata pa po kayo, if you are 50 and below, ayan, doktora, please explain the death rates of COVID right now. Okay, thank you. So normally, the death rate of COVID is 2%, but that is an average. So what does this mean? Dati before the surge, okay? Dati, before the surge, our death rate, if you are 50 and below, the death rate is even less than 1%. Bababa talaga. Okay? As you get older, as you reach the 60, the death rate becomes 10%. So what is the meaning of that? Out of every 10 lolas na malalagay sa ICU, isa po ang mamamatay. O kung 100 kayo, 10 po ang mamamatay. That's because of being old. Ngayon, once you reach 85 po, the death rate becomes 15%. So out of 100, so yon. So what I'm trying to say about the death rate is as you get older, the death rate really increases. And when you are very young, talagang yung possibility nyo is very low. Pero ngayon po, with this surge, lumabas lang po today, binigay po sa akin ng Okta Group na Kore na, are you ready? The death rate for younger persons below 60 is now 5%. Dati, it was less than 1%. Ngayon, 60 and below is 5%. And 65 and above is 30%, Trina. So, ang meaning noon, if 10 lolas got COVID right now, 3 would pass away. Ang bigat nun that's not a joke. The 30%, that's 3 out of every 10. Hindi nga po nila malaman ngayon if there are two reasons for the high death rate. Number one, baka po puno yung mga ospital. So, hindi huma-admit yung mga serious, namamatay na lang sa tent. So, death rate. Okay? Number two issue na tinitingnan po nila is the variants po are more deadly. So, baka po variants ang pumapatay sa tao ngayon. So, that is something po that we want to know about. Kasi nagulat po tayo, parang ang daming namatay. Ikaw rin, hindi mo na feel na maraming namatay?
Doc, feel na feel ko kasi left and right, pagka nag-scroll ako, Facebook alone, ha. Pag mag-scroll ka, madaming nag-change ng profile picture to candles and black. Sobrang devastating. So parang walang in a day na hindi nag-change yung ibang friends ko into that. And yeah, totoo, tama ka, doktora. Ang dami kong nakikitang
Parang mas maraming namatay ngayon.
Yes. 30-ish, 40-ish, ang dami po. Yes. And I've heard na pati yung mga kids na dating medyo susceptible sa COVID, pati ngayon natatamaan.
Mayroong bata sa amin na COVID.
So, ganun siya.
It's so devastating sa akin.
Yes,
bilang nanay. Ikaw din bilang nanay.
Yes. Halos hindi ko na nga ilabas yung mga anak ko kahit sa garahe. Hindi na bumababa ng second floor. Nasa loob lang sila ng kwarto. Yes.
So, yun po yun. Parang talaga kung I just read this exclusive report. Sinabi po sa akin, 65 and above, 30% na po. Those 60 and below, 5%. So, imagine before, 2% lang, and before even less than 1% kung batang-bata ka. Ngayon, 5%. Nahilo nga ako eh. So yun lang po. So basically, what is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is COVID is real, it is serious, at may namamatay. Marami na pong namamatay. Okay? In fact, ito lang COVID is the second cause of death ngayon sa US.
Okay, from Miss Eugenia Nebrida. Hi po, Doktora. May vaccine po ako ng anti-pneumonia 2017. Sabi po, years ang gana nun sa 2022 pa po ang ikalimang taon. Pwede na po ba ako magpa-vaccine ng AstraZeneca? Salamat po.
Yes, ma'am. There's no relationship po between the pneumonia vaccine and AstraZeneca. So it's okay. At saka malaki naman ho yung pagitan. Malaki po ang pagitan. That's 5 years. So good. Go. Last 2 questions na po tayo.
Yes po. Actually, this is the last one po, Doktora.
Okay, very good.
From Miss Alicia David Perez. Good day po. Tanong ko lang po. Yung husband ko po may asthma. Maraming allergies like seafoods, eggs, chicken, dust, pollen, and perfume. Gusto po niya magpa-vaccine. Safe po ba sa kanya magpa-vaccine siya? Thank you and God bless po. Keep safe po.
Answer po, if there are 2 reasons why you should not be vaccinated with allergies. One po is if you were vaccinated the first time and talagang you collapse, tinakbo ka sa ER, you required an EpiPen, natubo pa po kayo. So definitely you should not get. Okay? And if this ever happened to you with any other vaccine. Pero yung mga regular allergies like mga kinakatiganan po, it's really not, you are okay to be vaccinated sa mga seafoods, peanuts, ganun po. Kasi wala naman yung peanuts or seafoods doon sa bakuna. But I would like to say, if you have multiple allergies, mas mabuti na po magpa-clear sa inyong doktor. Diba? But theoretically po, it should not stop you. The only thing that should stop you is a severe vaccine allergy in the past or an allergy to one of the components of the vaccine mismo, or kung nag-collapse kayo or something bad happened after dose number 1. Pero, since si daddy po ay marami na rin pong mga ibang allergies, patingin po muna sa kanyang doktor. Okay? So, but I am happy na gusto niya pong magpabakuna. Kasi may mga tao ni isang allergy wala, pero ayaw magpabakuna. So, wala itong magagawa doon.
That's all, Doctor, for today.
Yes. Thank you so much. That's my bakuna story. You are invited po to put your bakuna story po sa ilalim. You are invited also to follow us po on YouTube, Dr. Anna York Bondoc. And we will be doing more balut quizzes. Everyone, sumunod po kayo. And everyone, this is my bakuna story. Please share yours. Salamat po.